What's going on, guys? Markets are closed for the day, so you know what that means. It's time for a market review. We're going to take a look at the price action today, the trades that I took, how I can improve on them, and the overall bias for the next week. All right, so starting off on the higher time frames, you can see that we are still in this fair value gap after the break of structure, but as you can see with the green candle that is right here, we are now starting to reverse a little bit because we've hit the middle part, the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap, so we're most likely now going to start targeting this buy side liquidity. Hopping down to a 15-minute chart, you can see that today's price action was very sideways, nothing but consolidation. But as we now come down to the lower time frames, I want to show you guys the two trades that I took today. One was a loser and one was a winner, and the kind of bias that I had. All right, so starting off on the 1-minute chart, you can see that right here marked New York open, and we had this Judas swing that began at the beginning of the day, which took out our sell side liquidity. Immediately we had this reversal that went up, and then we also took buy side. Now, if you were watching the live stream this morning, I was talking about how I didn't like how price was reacting with these candles up here. Obviously, we're going up into that buy side, but look how we're rejecting it as we get into the buy side. This was most likely the sign of the reversal. Now, on my chart, you can see as we did go into it for the first time and get this candle right here, especially that pushed up but just was not taking it, we had this move down right here that broke a small structure, not super significant, but it is a break of structure, and this fair value gap formed. This is where my first entry was. You can see right here, I executed on this candle right at the red arrow that you can see right there, but I unfortunately got stopped out having my stop loss up here. But this is why. As you can see, we had red folder news right at 10 o'clock. I didn't see this coming because I didn't check this morning, but right as that candle hit 10 o'clock, I immediately knew, just because of how I was reacting. The amount of volume that was coming in was just way too much to be the normal 10 o'clock candle. So we did unfortunately get stopped out, but that's okay because the overall bias was still correct. After we got stopped out, we reevaluated the trade. We didn't get entries till down here, but we still did get profits. So hopping down to the 30-second chart, you probably wonder how I did not get in the trade up here. Well, there was no fair value gap fill, so I couldn't get an entry. The only full and actual legit fair value gap fill that we had was right here. And as you can see, that's where my entry was, and my take profit was down here. Now, there were more fair value gap entries. There was one right there, and that's actually where I got in once again. But this price action that you can see right here is just moving sideways. So it wasn't very valid. And that is why I closed the trade at break even. Now today is almost a perfect example of a typical day that I like to trade. The only reason that we lost money today was because of this red folder news and the volatile movements that brought with it. Take a look at where I had my take profit. Now you could target your take profit all the way down here at this swing low, but the probability of that happening is very low. I always like to take in the discount just below the discount of the consequent encroachment. And you can see that right here. Actually, you could have targeted this one too, having your take profit, but this one just seemed more as a significant low, so that is what my take profit was. But other than that, that's all I got for y'all today. It was a good week. Hopefully next week is just as good, and I'll see y'all on the live on Monday.